Hello everyone, my name is Che and today I'm bringing you some more Halo 4 action. Today we have some Infinity Slayer on Adrift, which I believe was originally called Warhouse. And I chose this gameplay not only because I wanted to show you guys some gameplay on Adrift, but also because I choose the light rifle as my primary weapon and I haven't seen much light rifle gameplay out there at the moment. So today's commentary is going to be about secondary weapons, kind of a follow-up to my armor abilities and my primary weapons videos. It's going to be some information about them and my opinions on each weapon. But before we get into that, I want to talk about something I said in a previous video. I want to apologise to the people that got annoyed with me for not knowing what Infinity Slayer was. And secondly, I will now read, I suppose, the definition of the game type to those who still don't know or are unclear. So the summary, according to Halo Wiki, is a new twist on the traditional Slayer experience that now allows Spartans to earn points during the course of a match, which can eventually be leveraged to call in ordnance from overhead. Ordnance drops within Infinity Slayer consist of free selectable but randomly generated weapons or power-ups, the latter of which can alter Spartan speed, shielding, or ability to issue damage. So those are the speed boost, the OS, and yeah, I don't know what the other one's called, just it makes your shots more powerful, I suppose. But yeah, that's enough of that. That's all done. Let's talk about the secondary weapons. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Magnum. Obviously this has been in all the other Halo games and in recent titles has gotten progressively better. It has 12 round magazine with a fire rate of 6 rounds per second or 360 rounds per minute. Obviously we know from previous Halo games that it is a semi-auto, which means pulling the trigger after every shot. In Halo 4 the damage is medium to low and it takes about 5 to 6 shots depending on how far away you are from the enemy. But that is kind of an estimate, so don't quote me on that. It could change, it could be a bit different. My opinions, it's the only secondary that has the ability to kill from medium to possibly long range, as the other two secondaries are both basically close range weapons. It's decent sidearm if you're playing more of a defensive role or you just want a weapon to finish off your kills with. Only downside I would say is that it isn't amazingly powerful, but I suppose that's why it's a secondary. Moving on to the next weapon, which is the plasma pistol. The green gun has a magazine size of 100 battery units, which basically equates to 200 shots or little bolts. And the gun is still a semi-auto with the ability to charge up, as obviously it has been in all the other Halo games. The weapon damage per hit is about the same as the Magnum in my opinion. Obviously it's kind of harder to finish the actual kills with the plasma pistol. It's similar to previous Halo games, but we may see it more now in actual games because you can select it in a loadout. It definitely needs a decent primary weapon to go alongside it, because it's much more of a shield drainer than a decent weapon to finish with. Yeah, I'm not sure about the plasma pistol. I think it will probably be the least used out of the secondaries just because it isn't really a finishing weapon. It's much more of a kind of take them down then change to your primary, which takes a lot more time. So we've looked at the two secondaries that have been in previous Halo games. Now we are going to move on to the new Promethean secondary, the bolt shot, also known as the Z110 directed energy pistol. It's a Promethean forerunner pistol which in my opinion slightly resembles the Brute Mauler. So the weapon has a 10 round magazine and has two firing modes. The first being semi-auto, which fires hard light bolts at a very quick speed. It's very similar to the plasma pistol in the way that it has two firing modes. You can also charge it up for a few extra seconds to get a single charge blast shot, which makes a lot of damage. It basically has a huge amount of damage when you actually charge up the gun. If you are in close proximity to the enemy, you will kill them with one shot as long as you have a decent accuracy. The semi-auto bolts are not nearly as powerful, however they are a lot quicker and they can be useful for either finishing off weak players or using it as covering fire if you don't have any ammo in your primary, which is usually why you would use your secondary. My opinions on the gun: the weapon is really good. It's a really good addition to the franchise and the game, and I can see it being a favourite for people who like to get close and personal or just want a replacement for the Magnum and don't like the Magnum. As long as they keep the range relatively short, I don't think it's going to be OP. I think that it's basically a mini shotgun, but as long as the range isn't like medium range or more, then there won't be any issues with the power. If just some other kind of notes, if you didn't know, you can change the skin of certain guns in Halo 4. Two of those being the Magnum and the Bolt Shot. So if when you're actually selecting your secondaries, you get an option to choose Magnum, and then it's like Magnum ST something, STR I think, and then the same with the Bolt Shot. The only problem with that is when you're in-game, when I was trying to change my loadouts in-game, you want to do it as obviously as quick as you can because you don't want to waste game time, and these skins kind of get in the way. So if I wanted the plasma pistol, I think it was right at the bottom, so instead of having to go through 2, I have to go through 4. It just makes it a bit more of an effort, maybe if you just change that before game, I suppose. Also, in some game modes, you have the choice to choose primary weapons such as BR, DMR, light rifle as your secondary gun, as long as it isn't the same as your primary, which I had in a few games, which meant that I could have BR as my first and then DMR as my second. Some people don't like that. I personally do, because I think it gives you a lot more firepower, and you kind of just, you don't have to worry if you run out of ammo. That's just me. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I did a lot of research for this one to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. If I did make any, or you think that there's something wrong in the video, then be sure to let me know in the comments by giving me some constructive feedback or criticism. Don't hate, because it's not going to help anyone. Just let me know where I've gone wrong, and I'll try and fix it in the next video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel either above or going to youtube.com/literalgaming if you are not watching this on my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Share it on Facebook and Twitter. My name has been Shay. I'm out. Bye.